Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, Willis. I left the area back in '79, but before that I was a high school teacher. My first year was in '72 in Manchester, and then I got a contract with East Hartford where I finished 8 years of teaching in the English department, high school coach, running, and a swim coach. '79, I say, well, I've done teaching, what am I gonna do now? So, by the way, when I speak, I talk in story format. So I meet Don Burr out of South Windsor. I don't know if you know him, Burr Corners. So he says, hey, I'm starting an airline in Newark. I want you to join me. Okay, so I joined. I was the first 50 employees to work at Newark Airport. Became a ramp manager. Then I went into facilities for the airline, setting up various stations all over the Northeast. So I did that for about 8 years. I said, what else can I do? So I went on to work at Compact Computer. And this was my longest run at Compact. I was 20 years there. But rather go through the details of a facilitator manager, I'm going to tell you two things that happened to me at Compact in Piscataway, New Jersey. One day I'm looking out my window and I see these two guys come into our parking lot. And they kept looking at cars. So the one guy got out and he sees this red Honda and he decides they're going to steal it. So I go, oh boy, I'm 31 years old and I'm dealing with this already. So I get on the phone to the police department and they go, tell me what you see. I says, I see a Pontiac Firebird with two guys, army coat, jeans, sneakers, trying to break into a Honda. Well, unfortunately, the Honda had a bar lock on the wheel. So the police says, we're gonna be there. You just wait outside and we're gonna pick you up in an unmarked car. I said, an unmarked car? I said, no, don't worry about it. So anyway, they show up with an unmarked car. It wasn't a police car, it was a regular car with tinted windows. The detective inside says, get in. We go about a half mile from where I worked. And they had the guys. They had a spread eagle on the car. And they said, see the guys? I go, yep, that's the guys. Is that the car? That's the car. So they said, you're going back to the police department with me. And I go, I gotta go back to work. You know, come on, I can't just go. So they sent me, we spent an hour and a half with the detective and another officer writing up the report. And the officer says, there's no way we're gonna let these guys off, no way. Okay, so then they bring me back. I don't hear from in 2 months. So then all of a sudden, the attorney for the county gives me a call. And he says, you're gonna have to go to court to testify. And I go, I got a family, I got a son, I was married, I'm worried about this. He says, don't worry. He says, I'll get back to you. So I don't hear from him for like 2 weeks. He calls me back and he says, Dave, something's good gonna happen now. Thank you for what you did because of your testimony and everything. They pleaded guilty, they're going to jail. And the other thing is, it just wasn't two guys. It was a major car theft ring out of Camden. I go, get out. And he goes, yeah. So with that said, he wrote a letter, the attorney for the county, to my bosses, and they go, Dave, we're gonna send you a night out in New York City. You're gonna see the Celtics play the Knicks. You and your wife are gonna go to the World Trade Center, have dinner on us, and you're gonna get a little bonus. Okay, event number one. Event number two, I'm on the Jersey Turnpike, exit 16. That's where you go to get under the tunnel to go to New York. I'm listening to ABC radio, and ABC radio's going, there's a plane hitting the World Trade Center. I'm going, what? what's going on? Oh, usually small aircraft will go up the Hudson and they'll crash. So you have the World Trade Center. I got 5 people in one of the towers. And so they're having a meeting. This became after the fact. And 5 people, the girl goes to her boss, I bought you a nice Italian tie. Why don't you wear it in our meeting at 10 o'clock? He says, okay, I'm gonna go back to the hotel. He goes back to the hotel to change his shirt, put that tie on. The other 4 perished when the planes hit. So with that being said, we had a ceremonial in New York City at one of our other buildings. And Carly Fiorini was the CEO of Compaq Computer at that time. So she said she wanted some people to be on her East Coast security team when she was here. So I happened to be one of the chosen that went to the meeting and so forth, and met her bodyguards and everything. So now I'm in the facility field. I'm 32 years old. People know who I am in Central Jersey, and I'm getting a name for myself. So after I finish 20 years of work with Compaq, I move on to Munich Reinsurance. Now, Munich Reinsurance is in Princeton, and they had their United States headquarters there. And the only reason I'm talking about what happened with Munich Re is they sent me to training with the state police, the FBI, a thing called SORA. You don't have it here in Manchester, because I already talked to the police. It's a security officer program, and it's an act that was initiated by Jersey. And what it is, you go for 12 weeks and you get the incredible training on all different aspects. So after doing that, I then moved on to another business, Siemens. And Siemens was in the same area, so I was a facilitator there, but that was basically nothing in security, nothing in safety. So after 5 years, I left Siemens and went up to my one building site that I wanted to work in Princeton, and that was GE Health. Now, GE Health, has anybody ever worked for GE? Anybody? What they do is incredible. They test you and they bring you all the time. They use the word compliant. You will not get fired. You will not have any problems as long as you're compliant, Dave. All right? So I get that word is still in my brain. So reason why I'm telling you about all this is because this is what I'm gonna bring to the town of Manchester, all the things I learned from these corporations. And it's my ability to think on my feet. It's my ability to solve problems and also bring security and safety to the town of Manchester. And I've already been implementing some of those safety factors with the Manchester Police Department. I live on Strickland Street, and because I live on Strickland Street, I'm known as the gatekeeper. So anybody know what a gatekeeper is? Well, if you have any in your neighborhood, that's the person who I stay up late. So anytime I see any type of theft going on, I'm the guy who calls the police. When the power goes out, I'm the guy who calls the fire department.
What's that?
So now on Strickland Street, I've got all these elderly people, and I can't go anywhere. When I say I'm going to Jersey, they go, no, you can't. You're gonna stay here. You're staying. So I'm hoping that I also have a finance background, whereas for those 40 years working for those 4 major companies, I've learned a lot how to track dollars. And if I'm elected, I'm gonna be like an owl. I'm gonna be tracking every penny spent, and I'm gonna be able to just try to see if we can get a handle on expenses in this town, because it's crazy. Like Leslie said, and my good friend Tom Tomko back there, he's my mentor. He's the one who got me involved with the town, with Save Downtown Manchester, and good guy. He should be running for something too, but
I tried.
Yeah, we all tried it, but yeah. So anyway, that's what I hope you're wanting to look for, a guy who's gonna bring integrity, safety, and I also, with my teaching, I understand what's going on. And I'll just say one little tidbit about when I was in the school. I went back to teaching in 2004. And it's interesting because now this is 2004, and I see the problems with the children where they're lashing out in the classroom. But the thing that school systems in the town I was at, they had what they call social behavioralists.
Social.
And I said, why, what's going on? Because teachers can't afford to have the time to deal with the issues at hand. And I said, wow, that's pretty progressive. It's expensive. But like Angela and the ed people, I think they got a handle on what they're saying. So, as a former educator, I liked what I was hearing here. Nice meeting you. Love me, I appreciate it. And I'm your guy.
Thank you.